Hey guys, well, finally got back to work on my Nosen Mustang, and as you can see, it is currently standing on its new legs. Finally got the Robart gear installed. Looking at the bottom of the wing, you can see I had to do a lot of surgery to get those gears in there. But after a lot of measuring, a lot of trial and error, a lot of swearing, they are finally installed. Kind of get a better view from the top of how I had to put the mounts in. I made the openings in these two ribs right here very oversized. Then what I did is I put the gear rails onto the gear itself, set the gear in place in the wing, and was able to kind of move them around to get it to where they actuate and they're the right length so the wheels don't hit the center section. Then once I got them where I wanted to be, I went ahead and glued the, get a better angle here, then I went ahead and glued the rails into place, but because it was oversized, I made these little scabs right here. Probably see it better from the top. Yep, you can. I made those to go ahead and reinforce around the mounts. So now they are not brutally strong, but they're very strong. And I know some are going to look at this and go, well, that doesn't look strong enough, those might break. Well, that's kind of the idea. None of us plan on having rough landings or crashing or whatever, but the fact of life is, especially in model airplane flying, accidents can and will happen. So the reason that I have set up these rails like this is they're not going anywhere as far as, you know, basic landings. They're going to hold up just fine. But in the event of a really bad landing or an off-runway landing where I don't have time to get the landing gear up, if it takes a hard enough hit, it will pull the mounts out of the wing. It'll do some damage, obviously, but if it's going to hit hard enough to where it's going to pull the gear out of the airplane, I want it just to take this area. Now, if I extremely reinforced all this and made it just absolutely unbreakable, and I had an off-runway landing, not only am I going to yank the gear out, I'm probably going to destroy the wing with it. I've seen that happen, I don't know how many times, but it's pretty ridiculous. Sometimes overdoing it is going to cause more issues. Alright, I'm going to put this wing down, so it's going to turn black here for a second. Hang on. I'm sure the suspense is killing you. Alright. Kind of a better shot here. Let me collapse the gear. You see the gear fit good. Locks and everything work. So kind of a better shot where you can see the where the mounts were actually, the openings in these two ribs were oversized, and then where I went ahead and put these scabs in there and kind of, once everything is said and done, I goobered them with epoxy and micro balloons, so everything is filled in, so it's not going anywhere. But this was kind of the big hurdle that I was so much not looking forward to, which turned out not to be too bad. Excuse me. But definitely was not fun. So now that I got the gear installed, the next step is going to be, once now the gear's in here, I'm going to start sheeting around everything. Basically, all the sheeting that I cut out to get the old gear out and get the new gear in, now I'm going to be sheeting, like right to here, going around the gear strut and around the wheel up to this area right here. Once that sheeting is on, then I'm going to pull the gear back out. Then I'm going to take my lightweight filler and just smear it on the entire airplane. Then do the final sand, and the wing will be pretty much ready for glass at that point. So there you have it. Oh yeah, one of my viewers a while back asked me about one of my planes that I had hanging up in the shop that's kind of been seen in the background a couple times. So this is for you. This is a Pica P-51. As you can see by putting my hand in front of it, it's a very small airplane. Toward the end of the existence of Pica, they came out with some smaller basically combat airplanes. I think they had a P-51, a Corsair, and a Zero. It's got a little Magnum 25 in there. It's all seized up because this thing's been hanging for many years. But my dad framed it up, I think, in 2004. Then in 2006, I finished it, not really with the intent to fly it, but more or less I was kind of bored, wanted something to do. So I finished it up, and it's been hanging ever since. So, for any of those that were curious, that's what that is. Oh. Doggone it, that's buried back there. Kind of hard to see, but underneath my D7 is a very old swizzle stick. 3-channel trainer. You can kind of see it all back in there. A friend of mine gave this to me, and with the specific purpose of using it with my craft single stick. Since I'm using the Ace in my new Chaos, I wanted something to put that craft radio in, so I figured that would have been a pretty cool airplane to do that with. So I want to get that in the air before the end of the flying season, which pretty much is now. Starting to get cold, it gets dark early, but try to get one more flying session. We'll see. So, as I get some more work done, I'll bring you back. Later.